Hello, my loves. I just wanted to say happy Halloween. I hope that you are having the most incredible day. Hopefully you're getting to just enjoy everyone's outfits, and maybe you get to take some people out or your kids out for candy today, or lollies as we call it here in Australia. Hi, Joe. So yeah, I just wanted to say happy Halloween, and I hope that you're having or are going to have a really great day. But I know that for many of my clients, and maybe if you've been following my feed and you resonate with some of the stuff I talk about, many people actually struggle and find Halloween quite triggering, especially all the Halloween treats that we have around the house. So I wanted to just come on here and give you a few tips on how to overcome your Halloween demons, in this case, your food urges that might actually, kind of keep you stuck in a space. So 95% of my clients, when they start working with me, usually they feel triggered around the holiday seasons. For example, like I know we've got Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas time, Halloween, and it usually is that just because of that fear of I am gonna binge today, or I am going to fall back into that track of I'm going to have one, and then it's going to be like, oh, well, I've had one, I might as well have another. And then it just kind of ends up being this massive binge guilt cycle all over again. So I wanted to just today give you a few little tips on how to manage your binge eating, especially, or more your urges really, when it comes to Halloween. So my loves, let's start with just understanding that, yes, I know and understand that a lot of us, because of the Halloween candies and because of, the shops being filled with all sorts of decorations, we can tend to fall into that euphoria, while we're still battling the all or nothing mentality, which is I'm not going to have any, because if I have any, then it's going to be all. Right? So I'm going to choose to refrain. And when we do that, we create restriction in our minds. So the first thing we need to do is focus on not being restrictive. So being restrictive is the number one reason why we binge in the first place, or why we emotionally eat in the first place. It's not the food that's the problem. It's the thoughts, and it's the feelings that you create around food, and the boundaries you set for yourself by saying, am I not having, this is so bad, this is evil, whatever the case is, I am so bad for eating this. It creates that complete feeling of restriction in the mind, even though we know that there's an abundance of food out there, but the part of your brain responsible for urges cannot see that. It just goes on feelings, and the feelings, when we create feelings of restriction, that will cause us to crave things that we normally say we're not going to have, right? We normally don't crave salads or vegetables or something. I never craved any of that until I healed my relationship with food. Now, very often I'm like, oh, I need a veggie juice, or oh, I need some veggies today, like extra veggies, or whatever the case is. It's just interesting how that mind is. But when we're in a restrictive mindset with food, usually the only thing that we think about or crave are the things that we cannot have. Right? So it's a deprivation mindset that we create. So the fastest way for you to stop binge eating is to make sure that you are nourished throughout the day, and make sure that you allow yourself some Halloween treats, just don't and also just look out for those food rules, unsubscribe to anything that actually makes you feel guilty about Halloween, those Facebook feeds or Instagram feeds or whatever the case is. unsubscribe and just delete those things, because it's it's not going to help you in this situation. The second one is to be mindful. So be mindful, first of all, if you are hearing this urge, in the back of your head. And with my clients, I actually give them tools on how to start managing those constant thoughts in your head, which I've obviously called the food zombie. But today we'll just call it your Halloween demons that just maybe keep telling you to eat. When we are able to manage and be mindful of that, that is when we can actually realize that is mostly just an illusion. The feelings it's creating is an illusion, and we can absolutely take control of it. So being mindful is absolutely key. But also being mindful while you eat today. Don't give in to let that brain take over into the debate of should I or shouldn't I. If we are in a more freeing relationship with food, we won't have that constant battle in there as it is, right? The more restrictive you are, the more you are going to be thinking of food. So just start noticing that mindfulness. And oftentimes we think we just eating out of nothing, but it's usually because of this debate that's been circling in your mind probably for a few days about how you should and shouldn't behave when it comes to Halloween food, right? We also need to be mindful when we eat any food, really. So be mindful at breakfast, be mindful at lunch, be mindful how you feel during the day. If you feel triggered, be mindful of that. And it's okay to feel triggered. If you have been in a space where these types of days or holidays trigger you, then just know that that's okay. That's where you are right now in this moment. And being triggered does not make you a bad person. Being triggered also doesn't mean that you necessarily can and will binge. Okay, so really be mindful to yourself. Bring in some gratitude for the amazing food that you have. That always just helps us to shift our mindset in such a beautiful way. The third one ties into number 2, and that's to learn to ride the wave. And I teach my clients this tool called urge surfing, where we actually get to ride the wave of whatever's going on in your mind, riding the urge. And the urge can go on for days and days if we let it, and if we resist, and if we negotiate. However, it doesn't have to be that way. The tools I give my clients, the urge, actually lasts only a few minutes. Once we practice and practice to ride that wave and the urge. And the idea with riding the wave is that we actually just allow the urge to be there in peace. We just breathe through it. And that's all. There is no negotiation. There is no, hi Jess, there is no negotiation. There is no judgment. We're just experiencing ourselves having the urge and just letting it be there and let it be okay. So I know that might sound quite tough, but that is something that will really support you. And the most important tip I'm going to give you today, I know I mentioned 3, but I'm going to give you another one, is to speak to someone who is specialized in binge eating recovery, so that you can get the support that you need. Also, I would say, even if you're struggling with consistent emotional eating and you feel like you're not a binge eater, but emotional eating is something you do all the time, speak to a professional like myself. I have been dealing and working with clients in the binge eating space for over 4 years. I've got my own qualifications, and also I have been in recovery myself. So I understand and know the process of breaking through when it comes to those emotional roller coasters that we get on, and these Halloween demons, which is the food zombie brain. And, you know, that is going to give you the fastest and quickest way around this, my loves. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. Please reach out if you need any more Halloween tips, or if you just want to ask a question. You're welcome to pop it here in the comments, or just send me a message and I will get back to you with to support you as much as I can. Have a beautiful day. I can't wait to see you all again very, very soon. Bye.